Alright guys, this is going to be a gameplay video between Quick Draw Heroes versus the Sun Dragon deck. So I wanted to show you guys, showcase to you guys how the deck works, and let's get into the video. So the person goes first here. He's going to be playing the Quick Draw Hero deck. So I draw 3 level 5 monsters I could special summon, but I don't have the Fire Ant Eschatar. But luckily I do have the MST here in my hand, so I can at least destroy some back rows. He's going to be setting that Sangan set, so then he doesn't have a way to set a back row. So I don't have a level 3, so I'm just going to go straight into the battle phase, attack with the Cyber Dragon, and he's going to be searching his Dandelion. Him searching the Dandelion tells me he's on Quick Draw, so I'm going to set the Mirror Force in case he tries to make a Dandelion play with the Quick Draw Synchron and make a Drill Warrior. He's going to be setting the Raikou here to protect his Drill Warrior play. I guess he is also afraid of the back row because I could just bottomless the Drill Warrior. So I go into battle phase here because I don't have a monster I can summon. Summon the Cyber Dragon and then beat over the Raikou. The Raikou is going to be able to destroy my Mirror Force, and he mills spells and traps. Good for me. And then, but he does have the quick draw play that he could do safely because I don't have a back row. So he's going to put the quick draw Synchron into circulation and go into Drill Warrior. So this way he can recycle his Dandelion. So he's going to go attack into my Cyber Dragon here. I try to bluff out the Honest to force him to use any sort of like Book of Moon or anything. And then I pretty much bluff him. I don't bluff him, and he just, I take the 300 damage. He probably doesn't have the Book of Moon anyways because he has not been setting any back row. So he activates his effect to banish to retrieve itself. I do have the MST still, so I just need a little level 3 tuner. And let's see if I can draw it, and I do. So then I MST the back row here. So you can finally see the Fire Dragon come down. I'm going to go into battle phase first because I want to do damage to his life points. So I'm going to attack in the order of 21 and 700. If he does drop the Gores here, the Sun Dragon can deal with Gores. Another aspect of Sun Dragon is that if he gets destroyed by battle, by the Gores token, then I can destroy the Gores token. So yeah, anyways, he brings out the Gores here. I synchro summon the dragon, and then I set the Call to Haunted. So in the event that Sun Dragon gets destroyed, I can just revive the Sun Dragon. If this gets Caius here, I'm expecting Caius to come down at any moment's notice. And if he does Caius me, I do at least have the Oracle of the Sun backed up with the Call to Haunted to make a level 8 synchro. So let's see what happens here. He gets the quick draw Synchron again. He does not get the Dandelion back, so he does not have the Lone Fire. Doesn't look like he has the Lone Fire either. He's going to go into the Avarice play here. Hopefully he's going to be able to draw into the Lone Fire draw, and then he's able to summon Titanial. Let's show his hand here because I don't know why I'm not showing his hand. Okay, so he does not have the Titanial in the deck, so it looks like he's just on quick draw heroes. He's going to put the Gores to defense position, half the attack of Drill Warrior, and attack directly. So he attacks me for 1200, and then he's going to banish itself. He's going to set the Treeborn Frog and pass. I'm going to draw for turn here. I draw the Howling Insect, so I have the option here to summon the Howling Insect and attack over the token, as well as attack over the Gores with the Moon Dragon. But I don't, so I just attack the Gores and pass. Set the Howling Insect and pass here. So he has the Debris play. He can summon Debris Dragon, but he doesn't have anything to revive off the Debris. But he could discard the Card Trooper with the Drill Warrior, normal summon the Debris, and then try to blow up my field. So that's what I would do in his situation. Let's see what he does here. He has the attack here to attack for 12. So and he sets the Card Trooper and he passes here. So he runs away, and then now on my main phase, I have to recall the Haunted in case he kept the MST in his hand. I want to do it on my turn. And now I can summon the Supe here, and now I have both the Moon Dragon and the Sun Dragon in circulation. So this way, if he ever destroys both of them, they can revive each other. So I make a comment to him that I was like, finally, you don't know how long it takes me to do this, because I've been trying to work really hard to figure out how to make this deck really consistent. But anyways, I go into battle phase. I attack with Howling Insect into the token, and then I attack the wait, that token would have been a Gores actually. So so he lets me take the attack back. I attack with the Moon Dragon into the token because it only has 2100 defense. Howling Insect is going to attack over this Card Trooper, and then my Sun Dragon is going to be able to attack over the Card Trooper. So still no Caius on his side. So he can spell summon the Treeborn here and then pretty much sacrifice for Caius, but he does not have it. So he's going to go for the Drill Warrior here to circulate the quick draw Synchron back to his hand. Not getting the Card Trooper, but I guess because he wants to normal summon Debris and go into Red Dragon Archfiend maybe. Or he can go into a Black Rose. So if he makes Black Rose here, this is good for me because I can just recycle all my guys. He's going to go into the Ancient Fairy Dragon because he knows that Black Rose is not good enough. So he's going to attack my life points with by halving his Jewel Warrior again, doing this play again, and then he's going to set a back row, which is Book of Moon. I'm going to take my turn again, and then I'm going to activate Brain Control. Hopefully this way I can just clear him. I do have the Oracle of the Sun in my hand, so I'm going to go into battle phase first, and then attack so that I can... I pretty much have lethal on board if he takes all his damage, but he does have the Book of Moon for my Sun Dragon. So main phase 2... I'm going to sacrifice the Ancient Fairy Dragon to set the Oracle of the Sun, and this way, if he does Black Rose the field, then I can come back. So let's see what happens here. He's going to get the debris again, and then he has the Foolish this time, so he can actually Foolish his Dandelion if he wants to protect his life points, because I do have 5 monsters, potentially, on the next turn. So he's going to have to attack me again. He's going to run away, and then he's going to summon the debris, bring out the Card Trooper. He's not going to activate Foolish, which is surprising to me, but then he's going to make a Black Rose, activate the effect to blow up the field, and then this is where... this is a really cool chain link. So this chain link right here, we're going to have 3 chain links go off. Sun Dragon is going to be chain link 1, I think. And then chain link 2 is going to be Moon Dragon. And then chain link 3 is going to be Oracle of the Sun. Because of the Segak rules, you can actually make them all chain link 1, chain link 2, chain link 3, and none of them miss timing. This one is able to search me a Fire Ant or Supay from my deck. And then, so that's what I do. And then I'm going to search for the Ascatard in my hand. And then Moon Dragon is going to bring back my Inti. So you guys can see the power of the deck already. He's going to activate Foolish to send the Dandelion to pretty much stall. Or no, he's going to activate Miracle Fusion. So this is another instance where this is a really good matchup against Absolute Zero decks. So because this is an Absolute Zero deck, I can do something like this that's ignorant. I can normal summon the Ascatar, or no, he doesn't. So I'm going to attack the Absolute Zero with the Inti. The Inti is going to get popped by the Absolute Zero, and then the Moon Dragon Quilla is going to revive my my Sun Dragon, and then I win. Yeah, so that's a really cool play. That was the best play I've recorded on camera to be able to commentate for you guys, but hopefully I can make that line of play more consistent, that it's going to see more play in the future. But yeah, that's kind of the idea that I was trying to go for forever, and I finally got to do it, and this guy allowed me to do so. All right, game 2, he's going to go first again, which is fine because I'm playing a Go second deck. He does open the Future Fusion here, so he's going to activate the Stratos first, I believe, before the Future Fusion. He's going to search himself the Plasma, so he's on the Plasma variant of this deck. He's going to activate the Future Fusion and then send off Water Target, as well as the Alias. I do have a Deity Crow in my hand, but there's no reason to do that because he does not have Miracle. I draw into the Dust Tornado, so most likely, since I draw a lot of traps, I'm most likely going to set the Rat with the Dust Tornado. And I'm also going to set another back row because in case he summons the Diva is going to be able to Synchro Summon to the Brio. So I at least want to have something for the Diva if he chooses not to do anything. I don't want to commit too hard into the Heavy Storm, because if I commit too hard to the Heavy Storm, then I'm going to lose more advantage. So I allow him to just do all the play here. He's going to mill 3. By milling a Treacherous Trap hole, I know that he's not on any sort of traps in his deck. So it tells me that the remaining defense that he has is Book of Moon. So yeah, he mills a Dandelion and a Caius, which is good for him in the event that he's able to put a Drill Warrior into circulation. He can just put the Caius back to his hand to be able to stop all my recruiters. So I go into the Howling Insect with the Giant Rat here. So all I need now is to be able to draw my tuner. Let's see what I do here. I go into the Carapace. The Carapace, like I said before in my deck profile, is that the Beetle is able to fend off against a lot of attacks. In this scenario, he does have a 1900 attack defense, a 1900 attack Card Trooper, and 1800 attack Stratos. So none of those monsters are able to run over the 2000 defense here. I draw for turn here. I draw into Trag. So I was experimenting with Trag. I now do not like Trag, so just an FYI. I activate Dust Tornado, and then I set the Bottomless Trap hole. So in the event that he's able to make a monster bigger than 2000, I can just bottomless it. So he does not make the Drill Warrior play, which is really surprising to me because he could have done it last turn and then put a Drill Warrior into play, and I would not be able to do anything to it. But I guess he was afraid of my back rows. So he goes into the Plasma line. Thankfully for me, because of the priority and how it works, if he activates Plasma effect on Chailing 1 and I go Bottomless Chailing 2, he won't be able to resolve his Plasma. So he won't be able to steal my Hercules Beetle, so my Hercules Beetle is safe. Now he's going to go for the quick draw play, where he's going to go put a Drill Warrior into circulation, and this allows him to circulate his Caius. Yeah, And I do have the D Crow, but the Drow Warrior doesn't target, and because it doesn't target, he could just get his other Kais if he tries to do anything. He also has 2 hero monsters and 2 water monsters, which is really annoying. So my DD Crow has effectively become a neg 1 in my deck. So it's just FYI, this is only against Pot of Avarice at this point in time. So yeah, he banishes himself in main phase 2, puts the card tripper to defense position, and so now it's my turn again. And all I need to do now is draw my level 3 tuner. I do have the skill drain now, so I can at least negate his monsters. So I can negate his Drow Warrior. However, I won't be able to kill the Drow Warrior, so this is gonna be really challenging for me. So I put the Hercules to attack position, so I at least run over the card trooper, and then I set the skill drain here. So I try to, like, since he's been very skittish about my back row, I try to set another back row just so that I can make him afraid of attacking directly, so that this way he can just run away as opposed to attacking over my Hercules beetle. He gets the card trooper here, and he's gonna banish, and then the card trooper is gonna use his effect to mill 3. He mills another Kais, so all his Kais are now gone. And now he's going to declare an attack with Card Trooper. I'm going to activate the skill drain here. The ruling is if monster gets is attack modulated or defense modulated, then if itself does it, like Card Trooper does it, then skill drain would make him lose all the stat gain. This is very similar to Drill Warrior. If Drill Warrior was to attack directly with this effect, and then you activate skill drain or Forbidden Chalice, then the Drill Warrior is able to do 2400 damage or 2800 damage with the Chalice. So this is the same scenario with Skill Drain and Card Trooper. So he's going to be able to lose life points by attacking to my Hercules. Okay, so my Hercules Beetle is just sitting there. I still need a level 3 monster. Had I had another level 3 monster, which could have been the Tragodia, which I subsequently cut Tragodia for a level 3 Synchro, then I can just Synchro Summon. But here I'm just sitting behind a Hercules Beetle doing absolutely nothing. He does have the brain control anyway, so I guess he could have stolen my monster, but he couldn't have done anything with it because all his Kaius is now gone in the graveyard. His Drill Warrior is going to come back here, so the Drill Warrior is unable to leave the field now, and also unable to get a card out of his graveyard with Skill Drain. I don't know why I let him do it. This should not have happened, but it did happen, so I'm just going to roll with the punches. Then I take the 2400 damage here, and then I pretty much cycled out of this game. I don't have a tuner still. I do have the Oracle of the Sun, so I can at least I can take the brain control here. And then use the battle phase to attack over the alias to correct for the mistake of the skill drain, and then I distribute for Oracle Sunset. And then he has the Debris Dragon, but Debris Dragon's not going to be able to do anything, so he's going to set the Debris here. I just still need a level 3 monster, and I draw into Howling Insect. I don't have anything to attack with Howling Insect, so I just set it. So I still need to find a way to be able to put something into circulation. I draw into the Soupe, so I can flip summon the Oracle of the Sun and then Synchro Summon. So that's what I do. I go into the Moon Dragon Quilla. So this way I can pretty much attack. I don't worry about his back row because his back row, I've already seen the Treacherous Trap hole. So most likely I'm going to be able to attack here. I attack over his Debris Dragon, and his Debris Dragon dies. So I pretty much have the card advantage. My 7 cards to his 6. He still has a Sangan set, so he still has to find a way to deal with my board. DD Crow is just sitting in my hand forever. I make a very reckless move to Heavy Storm later on in the game, just because I was afraid of his back row. I should not have done this to give up my position, because the pulling the row could have done something. Miracle Fusion is activated here. I have the DD Crow, which does nothing. He's going to Miracle Fusion into Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero can then crash into my Moon Dragon if he wants to. He's going to brain control my Moon Dragon, so he wants to go for lethal. He doesn't know that I'm on Tragodia. Use the effect of Howling Insect to float into another Howling Insect. And then if he attacks over this, I can special summon another monster and then bring out another monster. And then this one has 1300 defense. So now I need to find my Instant Fusion to be able to bring this out so that I can have my Moon Dragon. I do have the Oracle of the Sun here. So the only way I can see myself using this effect is to be able to bring out Tragodia. But I would have to crash my... Absolute Zero is currently bigger than or same stat as my Moon Dragon. So if I tribute summon my Moon Quilla for Oracle of the Sun and then Synchro Summon into Moon Dragon, then the Moon Dragon would have been able to use the effect. Let's see if I'm smart enough to see the play. I do not do the play. Oh, yeah, because I Heavy Storm because he has Book of Moon, because I know that he's on it. So then I can sacrifice the Moon Dragon for the Oracle of the Sun, Synchro Summon into the Sun Dragon here. The Sun Dragon is going to be able to put my deck into circulation again. So this way I can revive the Quilla on the next standby phase. Unfortunately for me, he does have the DD Crow to crow my target. So this way I lose my circulation. So yeah, this is another bad side to my matchup, is to be able to see being DD Crowed in the end phase really hurts. And so I won't be able to put everything into circulation again. So he goes Debris Dragon into something. I go DD Crow on his target. So I return the favor by DD Crowing his Debris target. Looks like he sides out all his Avarice, because I don't see any Avarice anymore. So the DD Crow is a really bad side deck into this matchup. So yeah, I set the skill drain again because I mistakenly show him, and then I drop the Trag, hopefully to draw into a tuner monster, because if I draw into a tuner monster, I can copy a level 5 monster, and then normal summon the tuner, and then make another level 8 Synchro. At least I'll be able to gain some life point with Thought Ruler, but I can't. And then he goes into the battle phase, and I lose this game. All right, so let's go to game 3 here. Game 3, I go first. I don't know why I decided to go first, but I should not have gone first. I do have the Tragodia in my deck, so I guess I decided to go pass with doing nothing. He has a pretty dead hand, so he can do really anything. He sets the Treeborn Frog here, and I draw for turn. I have the Legacy of the Yadagarasu. In the event that he does side deck, or he does have Raikou, I could just set the Legacy, and if he flips the Raikou to pop the Legacy, I could just chain the Legacy and then draw a card. He doesn't do anything. I set a Dust Tornado here, hoping to bluff out call out a Heavy Storm. What he does is he Kaises the new back row instead of the old one, and then I let it resolve. And then he attacks for 24. I drop Tragodia, so this way I can attack over the Kaius. And then I had the road down, so now I can set a lot of back row. I go into Legacy Yadagarasu, go into attack position, summon the Giant Rat, crash my Giant Rat, so I can go into Ascatar. And then this way I can activate Instant Fusion in the main phase 2 to make the Inti Dragon. Okay, so now I'm going to go at Instant Fusion, go into the level 5 Mariner. At the time I was playing Mariner because I wasn't thinking properly with the Limit Reverse. Later I decided to play Limit Reverse, so yeah, Limit Reverse is way better, so this way I can revive the Reaper of Nightmare. Or Nightmare Reaper, I don't know how to say it. So I go into level 8 Synchro here, go into the Inti Dragon, and then I set 3. So I'm in a pretty good position here, but he does have a big hand, so he can really do anything he wants. My Tragodia is only at 1200 attack, so I'm only basically using it so that I can attack over small monsters. He activates the Brain Control, which is really sad for me because I hate when people draw that card against me. And then he activates Caius. I pull in the Rogue the Caius. So this Caius has some utility. He's going to Synchro Summon into the Droll Warrior with the downline. And then this allows him to Synchro Summon into Droll Warrior. I don't think I have a back row that can deal with it. I have Bottomless, never mind. So I activate Bottomless here so he can't recycle his stuff. So now all I have to deal with is the token. I don't have a tuner on board and I can't crash my Giant Rat, so I just attack with Tragodia and then I pass. I set and I pass. He has the Mind Control. He takes my Giant Rat, I believe. And then he flips it, summons Debris Dragon, goes into Iron Chain or Black Rose. He goes into Black Rose. Okay, so he goes into Black Rose here to go for lethal. He doesn't activate the effect, which is a shame because I did have the Starlight Road. And then he attacks over my Tragodia. I don't. I take 1800 and he can't attack with the Giant Rat. He gives it back to me. And now I have to find a way to make a level 8 Synchro. Shamefully, I draw into a Oracle of the Sun, which doesn't allow me to summon it, and as well as the tuner. So I have to figure out a way to bring out this guy somehow. So yeah, there's no way to do it. So I just attack over his token, and then I pass, and he draws into a Miracle, which is really good for him because now he can just kill me. Does he have a hero monster? He does not. Never mind. So we play another turn of games. I special summon another monster. I special summon a Howling Insect. The Howling Insect is able to block off more attacks. Putting in defense mode is pretty scary because he can remove a plant monster to put in an attack position. And if he puts in an attack position, he can kill me easier. So I'm in a really bad position here. I draw into Ascatar, which is good for me because I can normal summon the Ascatar and then Synchro Summon into Goyo Guardian and then steal the Black Rose, giving me advantage. I don't know how he can win this game at this point. But I do only have 800 life points, so if he finds a way to kill me, then that's good for him. Let's see what he does here. And he draws into Quick Draw, which is lucky for him because he needed that Quick Draw with the Drill Warrior to attack me directly, because otherwise he would have lost this game. Yeah, so I was really close to winning this matchup, but unfortunately for me, he draws into the quick draw synchron to attack me directly when I had low life points. But yeah, that was a pretty good game. Very close game. I could have won it if he didn't draw a quick draw, but I could have won also if I was playing my current variation of the deck. If this Starlight Roll was a real card, like a Layer Wire, I would have been able to use it to kill his Drill Warrior. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe in the future I'll play Sangan or something, but we'll see. But yeah, he takes the match against the Inca. I think this deck is called the Inca deck, to name after the Inca Empire back in the day. Okay, so this will be another video before I go back to the lab. So this matchup is going to be against DV Hero Beat. So this is going to be a deck that likes to control you out of the game so that you can't play the game anymore. So they have I think they go first here, or I go first. Let me just find out. Yeah, I go first here because I won the die roll. But yeah, later on I found out that this deck's going second because look at my hand here. I have a Cyber Dragon and I have a Supay and Ascatar. Had they only set one back row, I can MST the back row going second. Spell summon the Cyber Dragon if they have a monster. Normal summon the Ascatar and make a dude. But that's so going first was actually bad here. So what I do here is I set the limit reverse and I pass. Maybe I should have set the MST because looking at his hand, he does have the Future Fusion. So it wasn't too bad of a misplay, but it is kind of a misplay because the MST here would have been able to stop the Future Fusion. So now he's able to declare the Absolute Zero from his deck, and then he's able to send the cost to the graveyard. So now his Hero Blast is pretty much live. If he does have a Hero Blast, I'm pretty much screwed here. I'm hoping that the set card here that I have here is going to be enough to deter him from setting more cards because it could be a pro storm. So he activates the emergency call here, normal summons some straddles here, and I try to make it seem like it's a pro storm because I don't respond to the summon, and neither do I respond to the attack. So I'm hoping at this point in time that he actually doesn't set more than one, or set at all, but he does set two cards out to his back row, so that puts me in a really bad spot here because now I have to pretty much either blind space or I special summon the Cyber Dragon, normal summon the Ascatar, and then synchro summon. But what he's going to do here, I believe, is that when I special summon the Cyber Dragon, he's going to bottom the strap hole here, making me lose the Cyber Dragon. So I can actually use the MST here to destroy the set. So that's what I do. I activate the MST to destroy the set, and then he changed the compulsory to put back the Stratos. I was going to use the Mind Control and then take the Stratos, normal summon the Supay, and then synchro summon into the Catastor. The Catastor is able to wall off against the Absolute Zero, but if he wants to trade the Absolute Zero with the Catastor, he could. But I do have the bottomless as well. So if he wants to heavy storm himself, he could as well, which is why I set another back row. So I'm behind in this card advantage. He's able to generate a 2+1s from the summoning Stratos twice. So he gets the alias search here this time because the first time he searched for the ocean. Okay, so now he's going to be able to attack with the 1800, and now he has another back row. He doesn't have to care if my sets are MST set because I already used it. So now he has to worry about Heavy Storm, but the Heavy Storm would be pretty bad if I drew into it. So I have the Escatar here, so I can still do the Mind Control play. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to use the Mind Control. He lets it resolve. I normal summon the Supay, and I synchro summon into the Catastor. So maybe here I should have not attacked, but I want to be able to attack because if I do hold the bottomless for the Absolute Zero, then the Absolute Zero would trade, would do a 2-for-1. So I make the decision to attack with Catastor to force out that back row anyways because it's always going to be there unless I draw into an MST, which I already did. So I don't have another one. So yeah, he draws into the Heavy Storm here. He's going to bring out the Absolute Zero. I'm going to bottomless here. And he does have the Heavy Storm if he wants to use it to clear out the last back row. Instead of using it, he normal summons the Deep Sea Diva to special summon the Gilman, so he can force out my back row. I don't chain to it. I also never responded to his summon with Stratos, but maybe because I didn't want to waste my trap card against the Stratos because Stratos is a +1 after all. So I take the damage anyways, and he had no fear to the back row. He had no fear of my back row. He thinks it's fake. He's going to synchro summon into a Android here, and that's good for me because if I do draw into a level 5 synchro, I can actually make the fire dragon to run over the Android here. Okay, so I draw into the Oracle of the Sun, which is good. So I special summon the Oracle of the Sun, normal summon the Ascatar. Ascator. I've been calling it Ascatar for the entire video and the previous video. So I make the Fire Dragon Inti here, and then I'm going to be able to run over the Android. So if he does have the Honest here, in the damage calc. The Fire Dragon does have the Sun Dragon is at least able to blow up the monster that it battles with if it gets destroyed by it. So if he drops Giannis here, he's going to be taking a hefty amount of damage as well as losing the android as well as the Honest. So I had no fear to this move. So this is why I like Sun Dragon NT. The only downside of NT, of course, is the stipulation where you have to have the Fire Ant as the tuner. So he passes turn here. So at this point in time, he could normal summon he can Miracle Fusion for a Absolute Zero. He does have the Water Monster and the hero. So let's see what he does here. He's gonna activate the Heavy Storm. Lucky for me, it was a limit reverse, so I'm gonna flip it, and then I'll be able to bring back the Oracle of the Sun. The Oracle of the Sun is gonna allow me to search a card from the deck when it's destroyed from the field. I don't have a Soupe engraved. Well, I could have got a Soupe as well, but I didn't want to special summon the Oracle from the Sun from the graveyard or from the deck and double his attack for the turn and then bounce it back to my hand. I didn't see that as a good play, so what I did was I do this so I can search for Soupe. I search for the Soupe in the event that I'm able to draw into Instant Fusion so that I can put Moon Dragon into rotation. So once Moon Dragon's in rotation, then the Absolute Zero is not going to be much of a threat. So his Heavy Storm was able to clear the way so that he can activate Miracle Fusion. So I guess he was afraid of my set card, maybe being a oppression. So he normal summons the Ocean here to pump up the Absolute Zero to 3000. But he doesn't know that NT is able to pop the monster and make him lose life points because the subset. Okay, so now he's going to be able to swing here for 15 here, so that puts me down to 600. I'm not sure why he summoned the Ocean instead of the Alias. The Ocean's more easier for me to get rid of in most situations. So maybe he doesn't have the Gemini Spark, and maybe he wants to hopefully draw into the Gemini Spark and then be able to control the board that way. So I draw into the Howling Insect. I don't believe that I have any Hercules Beetle used yet. So at this point in time, if he does kill my if he does kill my Howling Insect, I can go into Hercules Beetle and put in defense mode. So that allows me to wall off against his hero. And seeing his hand, he doesn't have much. He draws into the Deep Prison here. His Ocean is able to get him a +1, so that's going to commit his play to the Stratos summon, and then Stratos is going to be able to search for another Alias here. So Ocean was able to generate him a +2, him getting the Stratos off the graveyard, as well as getting the Alias. So if he beats over my Howling Insect, like I said before, I'm gonna bring out the Hercules, the Beetle, and bring it out in defense mode, so that walls off against the attack. And looking at his hand, he doesn't have much of a response to that, so he sets a Deep Prison, and I draw into a Dust Tornado. So I contemplating whether I want to wait a turn before I summon the Soupe. Instead, I decided to set the Dust Tornado because I don't want to walk into a bottomless trap hole, because he has only used one, so it could be a bottomless. Could also be an oppression too. So I set the Dust Tornado and I just pass here. I believe in the Hercules Beetle lock, so hopefully his wall is enough. So I send another back row here. He draws into Reinforcement of the Army, uses the Ocean's Effect to retrieve the Absolute Zero, as he does not have another hero monster in the graveyard. But this, I believe, can also return the Stratos back to your hand, so he could have gotten another +1 by summoning the Stratos again. And then use the first effect if he really wants to pop that back row. But he could have summoned another Alias, but he does have Reinforcement of the Army. It looks like he doesn't play DD Warrior Lady in his main deck because he could have searched for that and then attacked over my Beetle. So yeah, I'm glad that he doesn't play DD Warrior Lady. So he ends his turn here without doing much. I activate the Dust Tornado in the end phase to destroy his back row. It was a good hit, so it was a Deep Prison. So this way I can put the Soupe into circulation. So the Moon Dragon is able to revive my my Sun Dragon Inti in the event that it gets destroyed. So this way I'm just going to attack here, and then I attack over the Ocean because I don't want his Ocean to retrieve the Stratos. So this is a good play for me. So at this point in time, even if he does draw a Miracle Fusion and he banishes a Ocean and a Diva, this monster would be able to gain the attack difference. So I would gain the 1200 life points, and then 1250, putting me to 1850. And then this way, if he gets destroyed, I can special summon the Inti back on the same battle phase. So instantaneously, I can pretty much recur. He draws into a Dust Shoot. One of the reasons why I don't like Dust Shoot in the main deck nowadays is because you can draw into it even if you go first. So I don't believe he went first, but even if he did go first, he would not be able to draw the Dust Shoot until later. So the Dust Shoot just turns out to be a card that he could just use to bluff, as opposed to anything that he could use right away. So I draw into a limit reverse here, which is good because this way, if I flip the limit reverse, I can flip over I can go into the Oracle of the Sun and then normal summon the Ascitar. But what I do instead is I go into a battle phase here, or I don't go into the battle phase because I fear another deprison. He's only used 2. He can also have compulsory as well, but he would have just used it right away. So I don't think it's going to be a compulsory set. So I fear that it's the last sets that he has is a deprison, which is unlikely. He does have 21 cards in his deck, but I don't play probabilities. I play likely. I don't play probabilities. I play possibilities. So I set a howling insect in defense position. So this way I can normal summon the Ascitar and summon the Goyo Guardian. The Goyo Guardian would be able to allow me to attack and then force him to use the Mirror Force if he does have it. If he does have the Mirror Force, then it's good for me. Looks like I draw into a Call of Haunted, so I'm going to flip the limit reverse here to try to special summon the Oracle. He's going to chain his MST that he's just drew, so he's afraid of my Synchro Summon. So then I'm going to flip the Howling Insect here, summon the Ascitar, and the Synchro into Goyo here. And then if he has anything, great. I'm banking on it being a Bottomless or a Torrential. This way I can at least attack with the Moondragon. I attack with the Goyo Guardian to steal the Stratos here. I don't play any hero monsters, unfortunately, so I can't search for anything. And then so I just, steal the monster and set the Call on it. All right, so at this point in time, he draws into the Gemini Spark. And so he can flip the Alias, attack over the Stratos, and then use the Gemini Spark to pop my Goyo Guardian if he wants to. But he's going to set the Gemini Spark instead. I draw into a Dust Tornado, so now I can go straight to battle phase and then attack over his set Alias to respect the Honest. I do want to give him some credit as to thinking this was an Honest, but he has not been using it. He could have used the Alias to attack into my Goyo, but I guess he wanted to save it. So I gave him some what is it? I give him the benefit of the doubt that he has the Honest in hand, so I set the set Alias instead. This forces him to use the Gemini Spark, so it's going to be a 1-for-1. He's going to tribute off his Alias to pop my Goyo. So at this point in time, I do have the Call the Haunted set. It's still the battle phase. I can flip the Call the Haunted, special summon the Goyo, and then attack into the Alias that's set. And then at this point in time, I should not be afraid that he has a deprison because he would have been deprisoning the Goyo at this point in time and not let me Call the Haunted it. So I set another Dust Tornado, so this way I can clear his back row. He special summons the Cyber Dragon here. Cyber Dragon is going to be able to attack over the Alias. There was points in time where these two sets could have been a Hero Blast, but the issue is that I had the Howling Insect, and I normal summoned the Ascitar to make the Goyo, and he never responded with the Hero Blast. So I deduced that none of these cards were Hero Blast, and I did not deduce that they were dead. So at this point in time, I activate the Dust Tornado to hit one of his sets. I hit the first set that he set when he decided to set 2, and then I hit his Reinforcements of the Army. I draw for turn now. I had the option of summoning the Giant Rat to do damage. However, I don't want to lose to a Miracle Fusion because he can Miracle Fusion and then attack my Giant Rat and I would lose. So, and he only used 1 so far. So I don't summon the Giant Rat here. Instead, I go straight into battle phase, attack with the Goyo Guardian, taking his Cyber Dragon. And at this point, he's letting me attack over the Cyber Dragon. I deduce that he does not have Honest, because if he did have Honest, he would win. So I take the Cyber Dragon, and then now because he's down so many cards, I don't care if this Moon Dragon does get deprisoned. So I attack him for 25 here, and lo and behold, he bluffed me the entire time. So that was good on him for bluffing me because he would have lost a lot quicker if this Moon Dragon was able to take some more damage. Draws into the bottom strap hole, and knowing that he doesn't have much, I believe he scoops here, and then we go to game 2. At this point in time, I think he can side deck cards like Royal Oppression. If he does, if the Hero Beat does side Oppression nowadays, I'm not entirely sure if they side it anymore, but we'll see in this game. So I draw my Titanium, which is the Hercules Beetle, and I hate drawing this guy because you can't really do much with him in your hand. He doesn't provide any value when you tribute summon him, other than to brain control and then tribute set. But I have other monsters that are better for that situation. So he does side into the Oppression, so we do see that he sides the Oppression here in his opening hand. So the only thing he does have to fear is a Heavy Storm. So let's see how he plays around it. He sets 2 into the Heavy Storm without any Starlight Road or Heavy Stone. Or Starlight Road. So because he has neither or, I'm banking on one of them being a Solemn Judgment and a Starlight Road. So only one real set. So what I do is I set the Giant Rat with the Decree. No, I set the Howling Insect. I'm sorry. So the Howling Insect would have gotten me the Hercules Beetle, but it's in my hand now, so I would have been able to special summon the Hercules Beetle, and then flip the Decree in the end phase of his next end phase, and then normal summon the Fire Ant Ascator, and then make the Inti. However, my Beetle's in my hand, so now I had to find a way to get another level 8, a level 5 Synchro monster, or a level 5 monster that I can put on the board, so that I can Synchro summon the Ascator. He luckily finds the emergency call to get the Stratos, so the Stratos will be able to generate him +1. The Stratos is then going to run over my Howling Insect. My Howling Insect is going to go into another Howling Insect, so I go into this wall because unfortunately I again drew the Beetle. So then I leave up against the Beetle here. So end phase I can flip the Decree here if I want. So I don't do that. What I do instead is I summon the Ascatar. No, what I do, since I draw the Oracle, instead of summoning the Ascatar to make a level 6 Synchro monster and make a Goyo to attack, what I do instead is I attack with the Ascatar, or I attack with Howling Insect. I allow the insect to get deprisoned because I want it off the board anyways, because I was not going to use the effect of Howling Insect to special summon. And the reason why I do this is because I want to clear board so that I can special summon the Oracle of the Sun. Thankfully for me, he does activate the deprison, and I banish the Howling Insect. So he did the job for me. Main phase 2, I'm going to special summon the Oracle of the Sun. And I could, since I deduced that this might have been a Starlight Road or a Solemn Judgment, I should have at least flipped the Decree first before special summoning this. Or maybe I could special summon because it's not once per turn to special it. So special this, flip the Decree, he chains whatever, and then yeah, and then he would have been able to compulsory his I guess Stratos back if I flip the Decree first. But then if this is a Solemn, I get pretty screwed here because I normal summon the Ascatar and Synchro summon into Inti. So he doesn't have anything here. So I go into the end phase, he activates the compulsory, and then I just chain the Decree. So it made sense for him to think that this was a dud card because when I summon when I attack with the Howling Insect and he deprisoned my Howling Insect, he didn't he thought that this card was not a Decree, but it was actually a Decree in this scenario. So now I have the Decree, I have the Sun Dragon. His oppression is dead, but unfortunately for me, he draws an out to it right away, which is really annoying because it seems to me every time I play on Duelingbook, my opponent always draws the out literally the next turn. So he draws into the MST. Most likely now that he's able to destroy my Decree, he can set his oppression. He can also use the alias to attack into the Inti and then use the Honest to kill it. So now I'm locked out of the game because now I can't use my I can't make a Moon Dragon because of the royal oppression. So now I have to find a way to clear the oppression now. But thankfully for me, the Inti at least trades with the alias, but that doesn't help my situation because he can draw into a Hero Blast as well. So he sets a Decree and he sets the MST here. Here he activates the MST on the draw phase, destroying my Decree, and now I'm left with the Giant Rat. So the Giant Rat hopefully can stick so that I could summon the Catastrophe here. So he's going to attack the Stratos here, and then he's going to pop. Knowing that he's on compulsory, I probably should have used the Typhoon first before he flips the Rat, because if he has Hero Blast or if he has compulsory, the Hero Blast would have been able to kill my Giant Rat here. So it was a misplay on my part for not MSTing the back row sooner. But now that the Giant Rat is out, he has not used the Hero Blast to kill my Giant Rat. So at this point in time, I don't think it's a Hero Blast. I don't even think it's compulsory because he would have used it on my set. So I think it's I luckily hit the oppression, so the Giant Rats would be able to special summon, and now I can actually play the game because my MST was able to clear the oppression. So good draw on my part to draw the MST. So now he sets a torrential here. So I summon the Supe, and then I had the option here of Synchro summoning. So which he has the option here of torrentialing. But if he does torrential here, my Supe can special summon the Oracle. So let's see what happens here. He let it resolves, and then I summon the Catastrophe. He still doesn't torrential, which is weird to me. And then so he kind of tries. So this he's trying to sell me into believing this was a set deprison, because I've been playing around it all game. So it's not a set deprison. So I mistakenly not attack. Maybe I should have attacked, but maybe he could have drawn. I mean, he could have drawn into a Miracle Fusion, and then clear my Catastrophe that way, because he does have a water monster on grave or on the field. So if he does Miracle, and I let him have another turn, that miracle would have been made a absolute 0 and attack over my Catastor. So this pulling the rug here is only really useful for the Deep Sea Diva, but it looks like most hero players decide to side it out, because that's what I commonly see is when people side the oppression, they side out the Diva here, which is also smart because the pulling the rug becomes less useful against the hero beat matchup. So we go into this back and forth where I set the bottom strap hole, and then he draws into a Call the Haunted, sets the Call the Haunted, and he passes here. And I had the option here of summoning the Supé to Synchro summon the Supé in the Elegant Justice Catastor to make the Moon Dragon, because I do have the Inti in the graveyard. But I'm waiting. I don't know what I'm waiting for. At this point in time, I should have just summoned the Supé, because eventually he will draw into his Miracle, which he did. So he activates the Call the Haunted, revives the Alias here, and with his Gemini Spark that he drew like 2 turns ago, he uses it to destroy my Catastor with Gem Spark, and then I just scoop because there's nothing I can do at that point. So even if I deprison one of his monster, I don't think I have enough life points to stop the attack. But I don't side deprison, so I don't have a deprison set. It's pulling the rug and bottomless. So game 2 goes to him. So I guess I did misplay by not attacking with Catastor. And then I draw again to another beetle. So it looks like it's bad luck for me. To play around the feature fusion, I set the mystical space typhoon here with the giant rat, and he does actually have the feature fusion. So when he does activate it, I MST it, and then he summons the Falso Dyna, and he's hoping that the attack goes through, but he doesn't know that giant rat has a high defense. So that booty like saves me. He sets 2 more back row, so he's a very like one of those players that likes to set more than 1 back row. But him having the Falso Dyna does not make me fear that he has Starlight Road, because he can't bring out Stardust. So I like shamelessly activate the Heavy Storm, and then I destroy his back row, shift the monster to attack position. Maybe I should have summoned the Grand Mole, but that's hard to dispute. I attack the Falso Dyna, so he takes 200 life points, and then I just set the instant fusion. I pass here. So there was a point in time where I did have the MST set with the giant rat. So I deduced that that he doesn't have an MST in hand, but he can draw into one. But if he does it, then he just kills my instant fusion. So if he manages to kill the giant rat, I can go into the Eschatar, and then the Eschatar is going to be able to provide me with the tuner, and then I can go into the NT. I can go into the NT with the instant fusion here. So I draw into Kalahana, which is a good top deck. I activate the instant fusion here to special summon a water monster, a level 5 monster. This is actually supposed to be Reaper of Nightmare going forward. So this game, I did not play Reaper of Nightmare. And this actually punishes me, because this card is really weird because it cannot be special summoned any other way. So you can't call a Haunted this guy. So it actually made me lose the game because he wasn't Reaper of Nightmare. So I make the NT here, and then I attack over the Alias. If he does have Honest, it'll be a 2-for-1. And then and then the NT destroys the Alias. I set the Call the Haunted here. He draws into the freaking Stratos, so another good top deck for him. So now he can get back into the game because he's down 2 cards. He sets the Gilman instead of summoning the monster. So yeah, I guess he wants a water monster in the graveyard so that he can activate his Miracle Fusion. So I had the Grand Mole here. I summoned the Grand Mole, and then I bounce back the set, thinking that the set monster was a Snowmander. So I bounce it, and I go into battle phase, attack from 3,000. I don't care about Gores because Gores doesn't affect the Sun Dragon. The token would actually just blow up the monster. This would actually blow up the token, so I don't really care for it. And then now he draws into a Deep Prison, another good draw for him. He summons the Straddles here, searches for the Alias. It's like they never draw like their bad traps. They don't draw Hero Blast. They don't draw their Gemini Spark. They always draw the card that they need for the situation. So anyways, he sets a Deep Prison here. I draw into Howling Insect. I summon the Howling Insect, hoping that the set card was a Mirror Force. I attack with the Inti. He Deprisons, of course. And then I lose my guy, and then now I had the option of not attacking with my Howling Insect. I could also flip the Call the Haunted, but I don't have anything bigger than... I don't think I have anything bigger than 1,800, so I just pass here. He draws a Heavy Storm here. If I flip the Call the Haunted to bring back something, it won't do anything. So, yeah. Let's see what he does here. He summons the Ocean here, attacks over my Howling Insect, so he keeps the Storm mystery. I get the Howling Insect to go into another Howling Insect, I believe. And then if he attacks over this, I can go into Eschatar. So the Eschatar here would allow me to Synchro Summon with the Howling Insect in my hand. Let's see what happens here. He sets a card. I think he sets a he sets a bluff storm, so it's gonna be a pro storm for him. I go and contemplate whether I want to flip the Call in the end phase, but I don't want him to walk into. I don't want to walk into a MST, but this could also be an oppression too as well. So maybe I should have flipped over the Call on the end phase. I think that's what I ended up doing actually. Let me see. Yeah, no, I misplayed. So I should have flipped the Call in the end phase because this could have been an oppression, and then but I guess he could have just oppression the synchro summon. So maybe I logically deduced that I should just wait till my turn to flip the Call Haunted. Okay, so I flipped the Call Haunted here. I unfortunately cannot special summon this, so this ends up biting my playing this fusion monster ends up biting me in the butt. I flip over the Call, get the Howling Insect. So I make the Bryanak here because I want to bounce back the Call Haunted to get value again. So that's what I do. I go Priob to discard the Hercules Beetle to bounce my Call Haunted. And then I use Bryo's effect again to bounce his set Heavy Storm. But it's a Pro Storm anyways, and I didn't know that. So I go into battle phase, attack over the ocean here. Yeah, so this was what happens here. I don't know, maybe I should have sacrificed maybe I should have sacrificed the Howling Insect for Hercules Beetle and then Synchro Summon, but I don't know. Then I would have to go into a Stardust, and then the Stardust would have done nothing against the Miracle Fusion. So I guess the Stardust would have like saved the pulling the rug, but that's it because the Call of Hana is already used and I didn't make a Brio. So I guess I made the right play. I set the 2 back rows here. I thought he drew into the Heavy Storm because because he just activated it, but it turns out it was a Pro Storm. I revived the Fire Ant, but that's not going to get me anything because it has to be destroyed by battle. And at this point in time, he activates the Miracle Fusion, brings out the Absolute Zero, and then he attacks over my Bryanak, attacks me for 18. Okay? And then now I have to be like, okay, well, hopefully I top deck into something because at this point in time, I need a level 5 monster such as Cyber Dragon or Oracle of the Sun so that I can special summon it and then normal summon the insect and then crash the insect into the Stratos and then make the Supay. And then from Supay, oh no, I can't make Supay with Howling Insect, so I'm actually in a really bad spot actually. So I would have to go something like, I don't know. So I could normal summon the Grand Mole the next turn. I draw it to the Element of Extermination, which is weird because he doesn't have any back row, and him being the hero beat player that he is, does not have much back row. So I summon the Grand Mole here. Actually, I cannot summon the Grand Mole. If I summon the Grand Mole, I lose because if I bounce back the Absolute Zero, he just needs 1 alias to kill me. So I decided against doing that. So I set the Howling Insect and I set the Element of Extermination. He draws into a Miracle. So it seems to be stuck to his hand, but he doesn't have any way to use it appropriately. Summons a Gilman here, attacks over my monster, and then I go into Howling Insect because I've already used all of it. Never mind. So at this point, I have to use Ascatar. Ascatar is going to be able to special summon my my Beetle from my graveyard in defense position because that's what Ascatar does. But it gets sent to the graveyard at the end phase, so there's no need to attack. But he attacks anyways. Okay, so now I draw for turn and I draw into Iron Wall and I lose this match because Iron Wall came too late and it would have been able to stop the Bottomless Trap Hole, the Miracle Fusion, and the Deep Prison, but it just came too late. Maybe I should play 3 copies of this in my side deck so that I can stop all the shenanigan, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I think that's it for the match, and I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay between Hero Beat. I'm still going to be working on this card, or working on this deck. I have a fascination with the Sun Dragon and the Moon Dragon combo, being able to play this whole floater game. But there are ways that you can interrupt it with DD Crow, but that's kind of the whole point of Iron Wall, is so I can lock out the DD Crows from using it and banishing my hard-earned synchro summons. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and then that's gonna be it for me. So I'll be back in the lab to work on this deck so that you guys can have a better finished product of this deck. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.